Oh snap! I forgot to go IG live. Dang. Whoops.
It's all good. We live. The IG folks don't have to worry. They can hop on to the YouTube stream. What is going on, everybody? It is another episode of the Run and Gun podcast. Special edition. The greatest college football head coach has retired, and Nick Saban, 6 national championships with the University of Alabama, is hanging. Well, I don't think you could say hanging it up for a coach, but he's hanging up his whistle and his headset and heading off into retirement. So big blow in the SEC, but we'll talk all about that. A lot of head coaching changes around the NFL as well. Some teams not moving off of their head coach, while others are surprisingly moving off of theirs. What else we have? HBC head coaching search that's going absolutely terrible right now.
Well,
that has a lot of turmoil in it that we will discuss also.
Yeah, we're definitely going to discuss that because dude,
I'm really terrible.
I'm really feeling myself right now, so like I really want to voice my opinion on that. But we'll talk about it on the other side of this intro.
Be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. I'm Ace, by the way, for people who new to the show. That's Jay Peeps over there on the right left of me. We're live on Facebook and YouTube. No Instagram today. We forgot to set it up before we went live. We had some personal stuff to take care of, so running a little behind, but we're gonna get this going. Run the intro and let's catch up.
All right, let's do it. Also, don't forget to like. Oh, well, he already said that. You know what? Let's go. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is GP.
This is the Bug.
This is JC.
This is Flash. This is Jimi Hendrix.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to.
And you're listening to the Run and Gun podcast.
All right. Oh, I'm not mincing words. I'm getting right into it. So, because I'm watching and following this board of trustees meeting that Allison's partaking in and stuff right now. So, as it follows, it was a big fat hell no to Sean Gibbs.
I can't tell you that.
Oh,
yeah, could tell that one. Oh, nobody want him,
dude. So I'm following Allison's tweets right now because I'm watching. So following this. Oh, hold on. So on FAMU National Alumni Association Zoom call right now, public comment is going on right now, and the first speaker is a mom of a football player. She's emotional when talking about how the players are going through, or what the players are going through. They feel their voice is not being heard. All right, let's keep going. So Vaughn Wilson is
one strike. That's strike one.
Vaughn Wilson's a speaker and he works for HBCU Game Day. He's a former speaker and he's heavily involved in covering the university through different outlets. He's getting emotional now. He said all his passion and comments are done to protect the student athletes. Then goes on to say Vaughn Wilson said he feels like a repeat of 2003 is happening right now when FAMU failed to move to Division I FBS. He said he doesn't think enough was done to keep Willie Simmons. We know that enough damn sure was not done to keep Willie Simmons.
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you that firsthand. Speaker now said this goes far beyond football, so there's a lot of distrust in leadership. I can't tell you how factual that is. Said people don't want their money to be played with. Yeah, I wouldn't either. All these alumni that donated $100,000 for this, I guarantee you feel like you're part of my language. I'm sure a lot of you alumni feel like you're being fucked over by a piss poor AD. This hurt will be painful, and a lot of people will pull back. Said more respect needs to be given to student athletes. I fully agree. I could not agree more. So as I switch this from hell no to Sean Gibbs, I go back to this again. Who should FAMU hire? It's point blank and simple. The players have been telling you for weeks on end or days on end since Willie Simmons left and gave his resignation at 2:00 p.m. on what was that, Thursday? It was not too long after Christmas. It was what, Thursday?
Last Sunday. So
Yeah, last Sunday. Like, dude, it's simple. And then you've already seen what could be a backlash of not hiring in-house. By the way, also too, let me see. Be sure to leave a comment. Please leave a comment, by the way, folks. We really would appreciate it.
chime in on this.
Yes. Like, dude, the players already said, hire who we want. Billy Roll, James Colsey. One was a former FAMU great. One was a former great under Bobby Bowden at Florida State back in the 90s. It is really not that hard. It's really not. I don't get it. And then, Ace, it gets even better, Ace.
By the way, that was strike 2 earlier.
Breaking update on FAMU coaching search. FAMU boosters asked for the AD to suspend the coaching search. They don't want Gibbs. Not a good fit. FAMU boosters ask AD to suspend football coaching search amid concerns. From the Tallahassee Democrat. Dude, what?
You're out.
And then when the 220 QB club met, she didn't show up.
Bro, you want to hear something hilarious on this whole thing, right?
Go ahead, talk to
Last
me.
week was the first episode, right, of 2024. We were both wearing white. And we were talking about, this head coaching search is not going to go terrible, right? Yeah, I guess what happened? Second weekend, we're both back wearing black and it's going terrible.
It was pretty damn obvious last week who you should have hired.
I know.
It's pretty damn obvious. It's not that hard.
They're making it harder than it should be.
But it's pretty freaking simple. If the whole team told you and has said who they want, you go with who the kids want. You listen to the players. If it's not broke, hell, they just came. I think his name's Stan Becton from FCS just came out with his FCS top 5 for the final ranking for the season. It was South Dakota State. It was Montana, University of Albany, who I think FAMU maybe could play with. That 2023 team could play with them, I believe. Idaho, who I think that 2023 team could play with as well. And then the final team in the top 5 to round it out was FAMU. You have a staff that can build the top 5 team in the FCS. Why would you go away from that? Someone in the comment section or something explain to me, why would you go away from a staff that has built the number 5 team in the FCS? What sense does that make on God's green earth? And then
the guys came to put, you know what? Actually, I'm going to interrupt with you on that, on your whole little tie right there.
Go ahead.
When Willie Simmons leaves, right? A lot of schools, when that head coach leaves, we saw it last year in a team in Mississippi. When a head coach leaves, that is the main guy for that whole culture and in that staff room, a lot of guys left and went with him, right?
Yeah.
That was not the case this year with FAMU when Willie Simmons left. Because it was not just him. It was everybody in that staff. The players did not come just for him. They came for the school, the culture, and the staff that was already in place.
Dude, if you look
and they kind of, in AD sites, just kind of saying, nah, we're not doing that, and kind of spitting everybody's faces with that.
Honestly, everybody, especially AD Sykes, strap her to a freaking chair and make her watch this episode of Why Not Us. If you haven't seen Why Not Us from 2021, go back and look at the episode where everyone was doing devotionals and everybody stood up and gave their piece and spoke as to why they feel so welcomed in that locker room and why there's so much togetherness in that locker room. Go back and look at that episode and you see why this team is trying to keep what they have together and why they fought so hard. And it sucks for the players because they don't feel like their voice is being heard enough. When damn sure it should. I'm telling you now, if it ain't Coach Ryan Smith, who is from Florida, who should be retained and possibly should be a candidate for this head coaching job, James Colsey, who should be a head coach candidate for this job, or even Billy Roll, who's supposedly the leader in the clubhouse, who should also be considered for this job. They want to keep that thing going. And they feel they have as great a chance as anybody to run it back in 2024. Now you can't do that because of buffoonery by said people in higher up positions and stuff. And now you're slowly falling behind the wayside in recruiting with signing day next month. So I don't get why there's, and I'm gonna tell you now with AD Sykes, I'm not saying the lady needs to be fired right now. I'm not putting her down or anything like that, which honestly I'm sure we'll probably never get that interview. And quite frankly, I don't care. But honestly speaking, you're seeing now, and this is my honest opinion, everybody else that's watching may have another opinion. I really don't trust this woman to make business decisions. I just don't. I really do not. Someone jokingly said she doesn't even know what Be Out Day was. She should have done her research beforehand. I don't feel like she can make business decisions. Her main thing when she took this job was compliance. Every football player was accounted for. Every football player and student athlete was accounted for before the seasons even started. She did her job with that. Kudos to her. But when it comes to business decisions like hiring and firing, I don't trust her. I hope to God it's not true, the fact that she may have said Willie Simmons didn't deserve an extension. I pray to God that's not the truth. If it is, shame on her. Because that's boneheaded. That's absolutely boneheaded. That man deserved everything that he got. I have come on here this is my third time saying this now. There should have been a Brinks truck waiting at his house in Quincy, backed up in his driveway when he got back from Atlanta after that Celebration Bowl. I am very serious about that. That man literally did everything he had to do for FAMU. It was a dream job. He wished he could have been quarterback under Billy Joe back in 2003, that same team that tried to jump from FCS to FBS. And hell, even Billy Joe is very pissed off about that still too. And there's one former player from that team that follows us has even said too, it was like dude, that I was there. I was a little kid when it happened. FAMU had no business trying to do that at the time. They didn't. If they would have been successful with it, it would have worked out. But if not, like they weren't. Like, dude, 2003 was going to be Billy Joe's best team. What you saw in the 2023 team was what 2003 should have been. FAMU had no business losing the Florida Classic that year. FAMU had no business losing the Florida Classic in 04 and having the lackluster seasons that they did in 03 and 04. Do not let that happen this year. Get the right people in place. Do what you have to do. And to answer this, I'm telling you now, it's either James Colsey or Billy Roll. And I'm so glad that the boosters and all the alumni have come to the forefront and have put their foot down with this. But for her to not even have the balls to show up to the 220 QB Club meeting when they called this and suspended it, oh, that's terrible, dude. Oh, we have a comment. Yeah, no, dude, honestly, no, because I hate buffoonery. When I see something so simple, I hate buffoonery. She's acting like a damn blonde, and it's not that hard.
Bruh.
Really not.
You know the funniest thing? I'm going to be basically saying word for word what you're saying right now in about 10 minutes.
Go ahead. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, because I know because you have the same feelings with Dennis Allen and the Saints. You have the same feelings. And that's the funny thing, too. I was literally thinking about that. I was like, damn, this is what Ace feels like with the Saints. This is what Ace feels like.
But I'll say this. It is different in the situation where for FAMU with them keeping it in-house to what the Saints did, because that was a 15-year thing with Sean, and they kept that, and that was stale and stagnant, what was going on there. This is this is like a 5-year culture thing that's been building, and this is something new and still innovating.
6.
And that's still recycled. 6 years. But it's
not
not as old, and it's keep going.
A lot of us, like Lord Jamal, right here, who's also follower of us on Twitter, who he said he's from Quincy. He was around during Billy Joe era. He remembers all of it like I do. Dude, nobody wants to go back to that period of just being average from what hell? It was what was it? 2002 to pretty much 2017. Nobody wants to go back to that. Nobody wants to go back to that. Nobody wants to go back to the Earl Holmes era and have the shit show that was. Nobody wants to go back to the Alex Wood era of, oh, if I could cut all these players, I would, and where he basically lost the entire locker room. Nobody wants to go back to that. Nobody wants to see that shit. And nobody wants to see Sean Gibbs lead this team, who was the mastermind of a fight that occurred back in 2019 between FAMU and A&T. A&T players are going to say Sean Wade didn't start that fight, but honestly, yeah. Oh, dude, I remember that. I remember that. Reuben Carter's record in Florida Classics wasn't that bad, and his homecoming record wasn't bad, but, dude, you got to win a MEAC title. If you go 7-4 one year, you got to build upon that. You can't regress and go back to being the 3-loss team if you're for Reuben Carter's era. Alex Wood, dude, that you might as well have been the $76. Going 1-10 is not good enough. Hell no. No. And I publicly on here said multiple times Alex Wood needed to be fired. I've never said that about any other coach in the college ranks. I publicly every week was an advocate for him getting fired. And I'm glad he did. Dude, look, there's no Willie Simmons slander here. There's no slander against anybody on his that was on his staff that's still here, still recruiting kids, doing their damn job. There's no slander against them. I have none. I am all for any of these guys getting promoted. Like, again, Colsey or Roll, or hell, wild card, Ryan Smith. Promote somebody in-house. Keep it going. South Dakota State did it. Look what happened to them. They just went 15-0. Won the FCS title. Alabama, Saban just retired. They're going to get someone from Saban's tree. Dan Lanning.
I have a feeling it most like we'll talk about that on the other side of this probably, but it probably will be Dan.
Dude, honestly, look, secure him at all costs. And honestly, and speaking of Coach Schmitty, I'm sorry, Ace, I'm just going.
Keep going.
I want to know who wrote the false letter saying that he didn't want the job. I really want to meet the dumbass that wrote that. I really do. I'm so serious. I would love to. If I could, I'd drive to Tallahassee right now just so I can take a picture with and shake the dumbass's hand. So that way I can post it on Twitter and just say, here's the dumbass that wrote the false letter about Coach Smith.
Bro.
Do that. It's no need to bring in an outsider. She should have called Coach KJ Black if it was so many options. Yeah, she should have. I'm sure
she could have called him, but I wouldn't have taken that job anyway if I was Coach KJ Black.
I wouldn't either, personally, honestly, now that you really think about it. But honestly, dude, look, it couldn't have hurt to call him. And I guarantee, I'll bet you $20 she didn't. Ace, I'll bet you $20 she never called KJ Black.
Oh no.
But she called the dude from the Chiefs that has no experience. But because he worked with Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And he's a former Howard.
She does realize that Chiefs' offense isn't good this year, right?
Look,
I wouldn't touch anybody from Matt Nagy's staff. I'm just saying.
This is why, again, her expertise is compliance. I'll raise your hand. Hey, look, I'll throw it out there. I honestly, I just want to know because I'm sure she did it. It was probably old boy from the Chiefs or Sean Gibbs. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's one of the two. I guarantee you that's who she thought. But thankfully, boosters and everybody stepped in. This is going to get taken care of now. And again, I don't mean to put her down, but she better watch your ass going forward.
Bro, I'm gonna be real. I don't even think I don't think she lasts until the end of next year.
Hey, you never know. She might. Here's the thing, everybody. I want to say. I'll say this. Ace wasn't around for a lot of that stuff that took place from like 2002 to like 2017. So Ace doesn't know how fast FAMU can hire and fire people.
Oh, so she better not last until the end of the year.
So, dude, I'm gonna tell you now, Earl Holmes got fired the week of homecoming in his second season, and he was diehard FAMU. And he played in the NFL and everything. Had a full NFL staff, which I think honestly was not the thing. Yep, and yeah. And then you had also, oh my goodness, who else was it? Who else got canned right away? Oh, Kellen Winslow didn't last long. I still don't know the preciseness of why that didn't last long. But his stay was pretty short. Joe Taylor, his stay was pretty decent, but essentially, from what I had heard, it was essentially retire or get fired. And so he chose to say he was retiring, and he was gone pretty quick.
No, you got it.
Oh, well, wait, hit it again. No, Kellen Winslow Sr. was also ran off very fast. Yeah. See, like, dude, people, it can happen quickly, Ace. It can happen quickly. So the scramble to get it right with the right action taken.
So we giving her till signing day?
Look, the schedule is supposed to drop on signing day. Honestly, look, I'll be generous. I think she can make it to the Classic. All
right, I'll raise it to homecoming.
Again, all I'm gonna say is this: I just want to meet the dumbass that wrote the false letter, and I want to meet. I bet $20, Lord Jamal. You can raise my 20 that she didn't call KJ Black. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm saying.
All right, on that note, you want to just take it to college football?
Sure, we can. Yes, let's
keep it on the coaching talk, I guess. But first, I guess once he switches background, so we have to say congrats to Michigan, I guess, even though they have officially said that they deserved what they won, or something like that was what they said for Michigan, which might be the biggest load of oh wait, we have one here.
If she makes the right decision now, she's good, but she will have to rebuild a relationship. She definitely will. Will. Because I think now it's like you have to realize, like, you're not just going to come in here and just think you're going to get away with stuff. You better know who you're talking to. You better know where you're at. And this is why I agree with certain people on Instagram when they say FAMU's not like other HBCUs. FAMU's not going to just take shit, so to say, and just be happy with it. Like, for instance, Ed Reed would never have gotten away with what he got away with at Bethune at FAMU. This is why I think Ed Reed will never set foot on FAMU's campus. It just won't happen. This is also why I don't think you'll see a person like Alex Wood come along at FAMU ever again. This is why I don't think that, you won't have a failed experiment again like Earl Holmes at FAMU again. But yeah, she's going to have to rebuild the relationships. And she's going to have to work damn hard to do it.
And fast.
Slow and steady can win the race. Now, student athletes are fans of her. I'll say that. A lot of student athletes are fans of her. But again, she's great at compliance. But the business decision making, that side of it, needs to get better. It needs to get better. But yeah, no, we can talk about it though. We can talk about it. Go ahead, Ace. Michigan.
All right.
National champs.
So they have said they're gonna be official national champs. They're not gonna take it away. I mean, I'm sure if they investigated that game a little bit further, they would find Michigan had some signs on that they knew, but we won't get into that part of it.
Well, there was a lot
So,
of holding. I have to go back and look at it.
I didn't even talk about that part yet. I didn't even talk about that, but I was like, congrats to Michigan for winning the national championship. I'm sure Hendricks and a lot of other Michigan fans are very happy. Congrats to them. Round of applause, beating University of Washington 34-13. So, congrats for you guys on that. Now, to the business part. All right, cool. That was one of the worst officiated college football national championship games I have ever seen in my life. Because that whole game got flipped on its head off the worst holding call it probably should be. No, they're not getting investigated still, but I'm sure if they kept that investigation open, they would find that for this game, because it was like Michigan was in a lot of right positions with, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I will just leave it like that. I'm keeping it ambiguous for reasons, we don't want people saying blah blah blah, But now for the holding, that was terrible, man. There are 3 instances, actually 4, but there are 3 clear instances of Michigan holding players that were more egregious than the one holding call that Washington got called for in the third quarter on that 40-yard bomb to Odunze.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was a 32-yard play, but it was a 42-yard flip because they called holding on the play and it was second down. So that put Washington in second and long, and it ended up costing them. They had to punt, and then Michigan ran back. Yeah, just sudden perfect timing. That's what I'm trying to say. Is like,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just leaving it like that. But yeah, it's like you can't be calling that kind of holding call where it really wasn't a bad hold, because he literally just touched him on the left hand and then he clubbed him down with his right hand, pretty much, like a pseudo jab, go pop right in the back. That's pretty much what it was. But they called that holding, where there are 3 instances of clear jerseys being tugged like this on either a defensive lineman, 2 defensive linemen, and Udunze on a route. And they didn't call none of those. And I'm gonna pull it up now on the penalties. I don't know if they show penalties after games, but I'm gonna see if I could.
Is there any way you can email it to yourself and then share the screen?
I can share the screen on that. Just give me a second on the. I want to find the penalty. Just bear.
Well,
all right, so there was actually 5 for 5 in penalties, but it doesn't show the penalty yards. But we know what the penalty yards were, because like for Michigan, the penalties were mostly false starts and stuff like that, while it was the holding that was killing Washington. Right. And we know they weren't calling no holdings on Michigan. But I'm sure everybody's seen the holding calls, but I will pull them up just in case nobody saw them.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen them. I'm sure everybody else has seen them too. There's a lot of questionable stuff that did happen in that game, honestly. But I do recall, yes, a lot of holding on Washington, because it seemed like every time Washington was building momentum or trying to find an opening, you had a penalty called that brought it back for Washington. Now, give or take 2, I'll say this. Michael Penix was a little off in his timing with his wide receivers in that game.
Yeah, I think, he did not play great. I will say that. That was not his finest game. And then he could not get any. They had no ground game. So you remember that Brady game against the Saints a couple years ago, where they had like 3 rushing yards and he had to throw it a bunch?
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like that, where if you have no running game, the defensive line can just tee off for you because they know you can't run, and that does take a lot off. All right, tell me if you can see this, right?
Well, we can see it. Yeah.
All right.
Blow a couple of them up.
All right. There is this one right here. You see it?
Yeah.
We have that one. Where's the one on Odunze? Oh, wow. Yeah. Come on, Google. You're letting me down. I gotta go to Twitter for this. Oh, man. I'm gonna have to go for Twitter for it. All right. I'll be back on that.
I mean, there's a couple images there where there's a lot of holding by Michigan players.
Mm-hmm.
Now, geez, that's crazy. My bad. I'm looking at this Nick Saban thing. But
oh yeah, that's gonna be a different conversation. But keep talking on the game.
But yeah, also too, I
time
will
to
say, Michigan offensively, they played a lot of bully ball, got downhill with their rushing attack from the start, and Michigan just never caught. I mean, not Michigan, Washington just never caught up. And quite honestly, I mean, last night you saw the difference between Big Ten ball and West Coast football. And honestly, 9 times out of 10, West Coast football has not been top tier. If you really want to think about it, 2004 USC, who blew out Oklahoma 55-19, is the last Pac-10, Pac-12 team to win a national title. The Pac-12, Pac-10 has not won a national title since. And that's how it ends. No more Pac-10.
And the funny part is Washington and Michigan going to be in the same conference now.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
and that's exactly. And it's funny you mentioned that too. So Washington, or my bad, Michigan, regardless of who they would have played in the championship, they would have either played Texas or Washington the next season.
All right, let me pull up.
Yeah. Now, and
I will say this: Washington took too long to wake up in that game. They had a very slow start, and it was like they dug themselves in that hole and they couldn't dig themselves out afterward. Because like after that second touchdown, they really got their run defense in order, and they weren't getting killed as bad.
I see what you mean with this, but yeah, remember Maurice Jones-Drew he went to UCLA. He went to UCLA. Reggie Bush was USC at that time. But yeah, man, that's actually pretty sad, dude. That's how they've been good, but they haven't been good enough to close the deal out west.
I will say this: the Ohio State Oregon one was a better Big Ten Pac-12 game than this one.
Yeah, honestly, I'll be real with you, dude. I didn't watch that one. I didn't watch it.
You didn't watch that one? That was the Mariota versus Zeke and them.
I do honestly. I have a disdain for Ohio State. I just I could not stomach them. I felt like they robbed Miami in 2002, and Miami should have beat Ohio State that year. And honestly, I didn't want to see Ohio State. I just didn't.
All right, now.
Oh, you're good, man. You're good. You're good. But yeah, back to my point though. Yeah, it's actually funny too that you look at it. It's like Jim Harbaugh for the longest could not beat Nick Saban, and then he finally gets Nick Saban, and Saban finally retires. That's the crazy thing about it, because it's like they played so many times, or not? Yeah, they played each other so many times. Whether it was you got it.
Yeah, I got one. Now I gotta show the other one. So we saw this one, all right? Cool.
Yes.
Now I'm gonna pull up the next one while you talk.
Oh. Yeah, no, it's ironic that Jim Harbaugh finally got him after losing him in the Citrus Bowl and losing to him. I forget one other time that they played. Michigan got dragged by them. I forget where it was, but I can't remember. It wasn't the regular season, and was it a playoff game? What was it?
It was a playoff game.
Georgia drove
the other one.
Playoff game. Kind of zoom in on that if you can.
Oh, I think I just closed the tab. Oh crap. No, I can't zoom in on it, but you can see it right there. I don't know if you can see my cursor or not.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it was a lot of
I don't think you can see my...
It was a lot of that Monday night though that they did not call, and that was missed. So so the next thing is as follows, and
that was the last one right here. Yeah, this one was hilarious.
That's the one. Yeah.
All right, cool. Now let's talk about Saban.
Well, I was going to say this before we do talk about Saban. How are we feeling about Washington's chances?
No.
Next season?
No. Their chances are minimal at best.
How about the other new members that are coming over? Oregon, USC.
Oregon is dependent on if Dan Lanning bolts to the Alabama job.
I think he will.
Mm-hmm.
He's going back to
So-
what he does best. But yeah, we can talk about it now. The GOAT officially retires. 7 national titles. 1 at LSU, 6 at Alabama. Past Bear Bryant after that last one. Dude, this is the end of an era. Someone put it on Twitter. You know, like we've lost Saban, Urban Meyer, Pete Carroll, Bobby Bowden, Joe Pa, all those excellent coaches from the 2000s. They're gone. They're all gone.
Mm-hmm.
2 of them on to glory. Well, one of them definitely on to glory. The other one, I mean, regardless of what you may feel with Joe Paterno, who knows? But look, don't look. Come on, look. You know what? I'm not gonna do this with you tonight. I'm not gonna do this with you tonight. I'm gonna keep this. I'm gonna keep on going. But
Keep going.
yeah, so we've lost a lot of great ones from that year 2000, from those 2000s, like because it was actually crazy how it felt like, you know, when you look back at it. I remember the night Oregon took over the Pac-12 or Pac-10 at the time from Pete Carroll and USC. It was the Jeremiah Masoli year back in 2008. But yeah, dude, it's definitely the end of an era. And you know, now it's like for Alabama, how do you keep the train rolling? Look, it wasn't easy to replace Bear Bryant, but they did with Gene Stallings eventually getting that hire right. It's not going to be easy replacing Nick Saban, whether it's Dan Lanning or somebody else, because now the expectation is still going to be championships, top 5 finishes, making the playoff every year. Somehow, some way, whoever comes in and follows up Nick Saban has to keep the train rolling. It's funny that we say keep the train rolling with another.
I wonder where that came from. What were you talking about that just now?
It's funny we say that about South Dakota State. They brought in a new coach in-house and kept the train rolling. And now they're up here. Like, but you know, honestly, you look back at it, it was a hell of a career by Nick Saban. I like Nick Saban personally. I know some people may have varying opinions about him and stuff based off of what he said a year ago or a couple of years ago about, you know, Travis Hunter and Dion and stuff and everything, and how he paid they paid $1 million for somebody and everything like that. And I know that whatever, but nah, dude, honestly, I could kind of see why Saban did retire. Like, you know, hell must have frozen over when he finally lost to Harbaugh, on top of, you know, the transfer portal and NIL and stuff. And it's just, that's a lot for someone to keep up with. Because honestly, you got to think about it.
Yeah, and old too. He ain't like a young fella.
Exactly, he's not.
I got my money. I can go into media, make even more money, and I don't have to deal with all this stress.
Exactly, and you are forever an integral part of what is in Tuscaloosa. You're mentioned in the same sentence as Bear Bryant now. You've won 6 there like he did. You've won 7 in the SEC, which is not easy to do. Every major challenge that was in front of him, he took it down. He took down the best the Big Ten had to offer. He took down a talented Texas team. He took down Tim Tebow in Florida, who was an immovable object back in the at the end of the 2000s. Like, and he sent he ran Urban Meyer up out of the SEC. Like, dude, the man had a hell of a career.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, quite frankly, his old running partner from the Cleveland Browns might be joining him.
I don't think Bill's gonna retire. I think he's going to take another job. But yeah, he's pretty much out in New England. It feels like,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be similar to Alabama, where it's New England's gonna go and take a guy from his tree and replace him with it. Where it's not a coaching tree with Vrabel, you know? It's like Saban's gonna get replaced with Lanning, and I feel like it's almost a guarantee that the Patriots are gonna replace Bill with Vrabel.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
And they keep the train rolling. And you know what's the funny part? If somehow the Patriots just sold the house and just went and got Drake May, and they could convince Washington to not take him, you give Drake May, Mike Vrabel, Patriots running that division. You give Dan Lanning, Jalen Milroe, and I'm sure like he's gonna get him right.
Possibly.
Like he did Bo Nix.
Possibly. It's a couple things that need to take place.
He fixed Bo Nix, all I like to say.
Yeah, now you're looking at Bo Nix probably being maybe the best quarterback in the draft. Maybe. Strong maybe.
You just smoke crack. You smoking crack if he said he's the best quarterback in the draft.
I said maybe.
Nah. He's not even top 4, bro. What you mean?
Maybe. I said a strong maybe. But honestly, I was telling somebody.
Not even best. You could say strong maybe he's the 4th best quarterback in this class.
I'll say this. I told
nobody's taking nobody's taking him over Williams. Nobody's taking him over May, and nobody's taking him over Jaden. Well, I take that back. They might take him over Jaden Daniels because somehow Lamar won 32nd in the draft. So Jaden Daniels might fall. Who knows?
What if the Saints don't take? Let me stop. I'm not going to do this to you.
No. You know what? The Bucks going to trade up for Bo Nix. Don't worry. Or no, the Falcons actually. I think they said the Falcons. Somebody did a mock draft and had the Falcons taking Bo Nix. That was hilarious.
It's actually funny. I was talking to a Broncos fan about this. Actually, I said, "What if Sean Payton took Bo Nix and brought him to Denver?"
Anyways, back to Saban.
That kind of that hit a nerve with you.
No, I was laughing.
Oh, I couldn't tell if that was like a.
Oh, I wasn't mad. I was laughing. That would be. If Sean Payton took Bo Nix in the first round, that would piss off so many Saints fans because he didn't go and trade up one pick to take Mahomes, but he would go and probably trade up and go get Bo Nix.
Hey, sometimes you learn your lesson, which is ironically the other theme of tonight. Let me stop. I'm poking a bear right now. So yeah, but hey, sometimes you learn your lesson.
Bro, I'm gonna say this. Saban won with Jay Coker as his quarterback, and he won with Mac Jones as his quarterback.
Mac Jones was
Mac Jones was good, but like, come on now.
But you gotta look at who Jay Coker had too. Like Jay Coker had like Ardarius Stewart and guys like that. But he also had Calvin Ridley. So
Mac Jones had 3 first-round wide receivers or 4?
Yeah, like
he had Devontae, Ruggs, Waddle.
Yeah, he had all 3 of them.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And Najee.
Yeah, dude. Honestly,
well, Coker had Derrick Henry too.
Yeah. All right, so let's turn the attention. Who do you expect to compete for the title again in 2020 with the playoff field expanding?
That team right there.
Yeah, definitely.
For people who are on Spotify and pointing to the Georgia side of our background.
Yeah, I could definitely see Georgia.
It's going to be a Bulldog probably.
Yeah. I honestly, I'll give you one from every conference. Big 12, call me crazy. UCF, Oklahoma State, maybe Colorado, maybe, but definitely UCF and Oklahoma State, with Oklahoma and Texas gone. SEC?
No, I think I wouldn't say compete for a title. I'd say compete for a playoff.
Compete for a playoff spot. I'll say that. Definitely Oklahoma State, UCF. SEC.
Maybe Colorado.
SEC, dude, SEC
gonna have at least 6 teams probably.
Yeah, Alabama.
I'm sure Alabama's still gonna be in it. Georgia's gonna be in it. Probably LSU's going to be in it. I wouldn't be shocked if they somehow keep the train rolling.
Yeah.
You got Florida's not coming back probably anytime soon, so I doubt it's not going to be them. Missouri, Ole Miss,
Texas.
I'm forgetting Texas. Oh yeah, Texas is going to be in it, and Oklahoma.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair.
I didn't even.
You said
And
Ole
I'm
Miss?
kind of in the doghouse. Yeah, I already said Ole Miss.
Oh yeah, dude. Honestly, Texas A&M. Dude, I think that they got some things to work on.
They can go bring back their alum Dennis Allen to be their head coach. Do it, no balls. Come on.
Wow. Now in the Big Ten, I'll say Ohio State, Michigan.
Man, I feel like Ohio State's gonna fall off, but they did bring in. Aren't they bringing in that transfer from UCLA?
They did, and he already said the goal is to beat the team up north.
Yeah, I have more faith in him than I did in Cal McLeod.
McCord?
Cal McCord, not Cal McCall. Oh, yeah. Cal McCord, bro. That dude was so bummed. I already forgot his name.
And then, of course, the ACC, I'm looking at Florida State. That's the front runner. I know most of what happened in the Orange Bowl, Florida State's going to be in it. And they're pissed off.
Florida State going to be hungry.
And DJ just came back.
Yeah, Uwangulele coming back to the ACC. He's going to be hungry because he played pretty good at Oregon State, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Dude.
He coming back. He's going to be hungry. They're going to roll.
And I'm sure that right now he honestly he does want to stick it to Dabo.
Oh, yeah.
And
I like Dabo's sucking right now real bad. Like,
yeah.
I know Klubnik's coming back, I think, for another year. Klubnik wasn't that great, and Klubnik replaced Uwangulele.
Yeah. And you look at it, too. It's like, yeah, I want to stick it to Dabo. And Dabo has to come to Tallahassee this year. Yeah. Yeah. That boy, they're going to be hungry. Florida State's going to be fun. And Florida State. The only really true road trip they got to make is to Miami. They get Florida in Doak. And they get
Tallahassee. Yeah.
They got to go to Dublin to play Notre Dame, which I think is winnable.
Notre Dame is like, meh. Notre Dame, I can't take Notre Dame serious anymore.
That's very true. All right, let's switch it on over.
No, I wouldn't be shocked if some AAC teams make it, but I don't know. I feel like the way USF play, they just got to figure out how to play defense.
Well, you also got SMU's moving to the ACC, so they're out. So you got to also consider, you have to consider a Tulane team as well.
Isn't Tulane leaving or no? Tulane's staying.
I
thought Tulane was leaving.
Tulane's still there.
Yeah, Tulane's probably gonna run the conference, but I wouldn't be shocked if USF's like second or third.
Possibly.
All right, cool. Moving on. That was a good convo.
Yeah. Now,
time for the wildcard weekend, or we want to talk about the dumpster fires and the shocking head coaching moves before we talk about the wildcard weekend.
Well, I mean, the only one I really know about is Ron Rivera getting fired.
All right, so we got. How do we want to start with this? Falcons fired Arthur Smith.
Pete Carroll.
All right, Falcons, Arthur Smith, gone. Ron Rivera, gone. Mike Vrabel, gone. Pete Carroll, gone.
Well, Pete Carroll's in the office position.
Well, yeah, that's going to be weird, though, for any coach who takes that job unless they keep it in-house. Because your predecessor's staying in the building.
I do want to get your opinion of something. So, I don't know, you saw Jameis's infamous interview about we decided as
that.
Yeah, you got some people out here saying that Dennis Allen should be fired or Jameis Winston should be cut and stuff. Dude, there's a lot of Jaguars fans that feel that way. There's a lot of Jags fans that feel that way. Because
they want him gone. He's going to be gone after next year, probably.
Dude, they should have made the playoffs. I felt they were going to run away with this division with ease.
Hey, CJ and D'Amico, them is them. Ash, you beat me to it, bro. Hold it. Let him ask the question before I go off on this whole topic and how stupid it is. Oh, you asked the question? All right, good.
I want to get your
Jameis did nothing wrong. That was going to be a pick six. And it wouldn't have made a single difference. Would Arthur Smith have been crying if they didn't tackle Tyrann Mathieu at the one? No, it would have still been a pick six anyway, and they would have still lost 48-17. And maybe next time you don't get beat up by a 6th-round pick and Olave and an undrafted guy. It was basically Olave, a 6th-round pick, and an undrafted guy you guys got killed by. Derek Carr is making some terrible throws, man. He got built, bro. They Dennis Allen said post day after the game, right? We should have been playing, bro. Philly don't want him back. Sirianni's gonna be gone too, so that's a different thing.
Oh my god.
But anyway, yeah, back to this. Bro, Dennis Allen said after the game that was a fade route to A.T. Perry on that first touchdown, right? If you look at that throw was to the inside of A.T. Perry, bro. If A.J. Terrell was a semi-competent wide receiver cornerback, that would have been picked. So, first off, if Arthur Smith wants to be mad, tell your corners play defense and not get cooked by an undrafted guy in a 6th-round pick and a wide receiver who's on one ankle. That's first and foremost. Second, now, you guys got cooked by Dennis Allen of all people. Dennis Allen is a terrible head coach and he should be fired, but the Saints is too stupid not to. And that goes back to, I'll get into that a little later, right? All right, cool.
Twitter and
now, Jamal Williams is washed. I will say that. Jamal Williams is 100% washed. I ain't get there yet, bro. Just give me a couple of minutes. I'm working my way to that part. Actually, I'm pretty much already on that part, but like I haven't got to the main part of it. Jamal Williams is 100% washed. Bro could not make a run past. I don't even think he had a run over 15 yards this season. But also, the Saints had no running backs with over 20-yard run. So there's also that.
Kamara
they didn't have a touchdown of 20 yards or more. Is what it's more likely. Kamara had like a 30-yard run a couple weeks ago. But back to this, right? Jamal was washed. He had 17 touchdowns last year. All were like 1-yard touchdowns with the Lions. But he's also been a key part of the culture of the team and keeping them from losing interest in the head coach. And Tyrann Mathieu, if he didn't get tackled at the one, that would have been 48. And Jameis was the team. Even Jameis was not the only one who said that. There's a lot of people saying that was Jameis who made a solo call. If you check Twitter, there were at least, I believe, 7 of his teammates who went and stood up for Jameis and said that was a team decision.
Yeah.
That was multiple offensive linemen. You had Olave, Jawan Johnson, and you had Alvin Kamara, all who've sided with Jameis on this whole situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Dennis Allen was like, all right, we're going to need this out, right? Bruh, if Sean Payton was the head coach, that play that Jameis ran, it would have been an HB dive. Or it would have been a single wild card snap to him. Or it would have been same call what Jameis made where it's a fake victory formation. You give it to the up back and take it in.
Mm-hmm.
If Sean Payton was there, Sean Payton won a 1 for 2-point conversion. Dennis Allen just says no cojones, bro. He will go and lie down and apologize to your division rival. Which is probably one of the weakest things I've ever seen in an NFL head coach. And also, you're getting mad and you throw your player under a bus again. This was not the first time he's thrown a player under the bus. He threw Olave under the bus earlier this season, and he's thrown Kamara under the bus.
I was gonna say because the Saints have a deeper hate that goes back to like the civil rights movement for the Falcons than they do the Bucks.
The Bucks and Saints thing only came around really with Lattimore and Evans. That's when that real thing between them two.
Well, plus,
but it's always been really
Cam Jordan's been in his mouth.
Yeah,
Cam Jordan.
Now the Bucks let me down last week, but we ain't talking about that right now. We're talking about the Saints and Falcons. Bucks really let me down last week. I ain't still over that yet.
This week or this past week.
No, Dennis Allen's still not getting fired, so you guys didn't do me no favors. And you won 9-0. Come on now.
Well, hell.
Back to what I was saying, right? Back to what I was saying. So Sean Payton would have won for it. Sean Payton would have gone for 2 and stuck it to the Falcons because Sean Payton always was petty to the Falcons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jameis Winston was the same way. Jameis Winston wanted to stick it to the Falcons, and half the team wanted to get Jamal Williams, stick it to the Falcons, and get him his first touchdown of the season for what he's done for the team, right? So the players had no issues with it. There's a bigger issue of the players going against the head coach because the head coach has no cojones and wants to throw the whole team under the bus, except his quarterback and Derek Carr. Wow, my light went out. I guess you sided with Derek Carr, White, huh? All right, cool.
That's a sign from God to tell you to stop.
Nah, God's been sticking it this week. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So the whole team really wanted to get him this touchdown, right?
Mhm.
You have the head coach who threw the players under the bus for it, and James giving DA an apology for that because he doesn't want that. Then you have Shannon Sharp who comes on and says they need to cut Jameis for that kind of selfish kind of play or whatever. Except half the team already legit said that was a team decision to go for that play. So you win by 48-17, right? That should have been a key part for the season to go out on a high note for Dennis Allen, as bad as this season's been with one of the easiest schedules of all time. And you go and you throw your whole team under the bus, basically. And that sums up what his tenure as a head coach has been, and it's how bad as a coach and a leader of men he is, right? Because as a head coach in the NFL, it's kind of different to college, where college is when you want to keep it in-house to keep a culture going, there's more than one guy who's a key part in the coaching staff for building what you were, right? The Saints went with the same mentality that you want FAMU to go with, of keeping it going with the culture. And when they hired Dennis Allen, their reason for not hiring anybody outside was they wanted to preserve Sean Payton's culture, right? I think you remember when I told you this back like 2 years ago. Yeah. Yesterday, let me see if I can pull up the tweet. Do I still have it on my phone? Exactly what it was, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Dennis Allen had a meeting with Mickey Loomis, and they were discussing what the team needs to make, and they need to make changes to the team culturally and personnel wise, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were hired to preserve the culture, yet now you want to make culture changes. What is your purpose of being as a head coach on this team at this point in time now, right?
Right.
And following up, Jeff Duncan, one of the reporters, said there was some segments of the Saints locker room who were splintered with adversity when the team was struggling earlier this season, and then also after the end of this season on with like the whole Jameis situation, right? Team officials are evaluating how that happened, what should be done, and Monday's meeting was set in the tone for the offseason of, are you in? If not, then you'll likely be out.
Mm-hmm.
A head coach with a 26-48 record, I believe, or 26 and he was 20-45. So yeah, 26-46 record, something like that, right?
Correct.
Anyway, it's a really bad record. It's like severely under 500 record. It's like a 0.4, 0.33 something record, right, in his career.
Right.
He's telling grown men who get money from this team, that if you either are with me or you're going to be kicked out of this team, or either cut or traded, right?
Ace,
That might be the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
Ace, we got something here from Allison from an hour ago.
Ooh.
So Bishop Bonnet, who was speaking, former player, 2-time graduate, said he bleeds orange and green, played for Alex Wood initially, then saw what Willie Simmons came in to do. To see it take a step back hurts my soul. Another former player speaking now said he feels they should give the current staff a chance to defend their championship. Said the AD could have had an easy mulligan in appointing a coach. He said everyone, football players and alumni, wants this staff to remain. The speaker talking now said communication is important and critical, especially given the response the alumni gave in trying to retain Simmons. She said the potential mass exodus of other coaches takes my breath away. Marvin Green speaking now. He's been the associate AD and men's golf coach at FAMU. He said FAMU's at a peak point in the school's history. He said it's an AD's job to find the right people. Curtis Johnson, FAMU National Alumni Association president, is going over facts regarding FAMU's football program. I'm going to put this slide here with facts which he's saying are confirmed facts regarding FAMU. There's a pending recommendations by VP Sykes for hiring Sean Gibbs for the next head coach. The NAA nor representatives of the NAA was involved, solicited, contacted, or advised of any part of the process that led to the current recommendation by the AD. Confirmed fact, in bold and underlined. And then you also have here, it says the National Alumni Association has not officially been thanked by the VP of Athletics for commitment to support to ask football coaches compensation fundraising effort that raised over $140K in cash at the end of 2023 within 48 hours. Also, another confirmed fact. Jeez, they are taking it to her. This is
that's strike 4.
this is what we
How many
call
strikes is this lady getting?
this is what we call being probed with no lube. Johnson's now going over what the National Alumni Association.
No. Time out. Did you just say that live on? Bruh, no. Oh my god, he
Johnson
really
is
said
now
that live.
going over
Oh.
what the National Alumni Association has done to support the football team over the last few years. Okay, here we go. Gets better. Another slide. I feel it's important all funds raised are in control by the National Alumni Association. We were asked by the AD who they committed to support family football coaches' compensation, head coach, assistant coaches' salary and bonuses for 3 years at $25,000 per year, totaling $75,000. Our efforts raised over $140K in cash, no pledges within 48 hours. Thank you. Funds were embarked for account 2033, which is family's first account and foundation under the control. Wow, this is dude, this is getting interesting. He reiterates again they have to complete control. They again raised. Artisha Polk speaking now. She said they want to hire someone who has the skills of Willie Simmons and those that have legacy at FAMU. So that definitely tells you right now Sean Gibbs is not getting this job. Bring up that comment. Several members of the National Alumni Association are speaking now and voicing their concerns. A lot of those concerns revolve around the lack of communication in the search with AD Sykes. Yep, Lord Jamal. Honestly, I saw your DM when they voted to no notion. Yeah. Dude, this gets just juicier. A motion of no confidence has been proposed in the potential hiring of Sean Gibbs. Also, a vote of no confidence in the ability to lead FAMU Athletics Department against Tiffany Sykes. The motion was second. Discussion is now following. It was Angela Williams who proposed the motion. I'm right there with you, Angela. She said she is standing on the motion. So we're standing on business in 2024, as we need to with a lot of things. After someone suggested separate. Oh, hold up. She said she's standing on the motion and is after someone suggested separating them. Okay, I see. Motion passes 19-1. It will be written and passed along to the president, AD, and the board of trustees.
Wait, what was this on? Which was this vote for?
The motion of no confidence.
And for who? Her or for Gibbs?
For both.
So she's out then.
Look again,
bro. You know what a motion of vote of no confidence is, right? I mean, she's out.
Bring it up. Where is it? This right here. We told you, dude. We told you.
I told you before the show started, bro. She might be gone, but I was being generous.
Yeah, you were. Williams proposes another motion for a vote of no confidence in AD Sykes for the cancellation of the Orange Blossom Classic, increase in
she gone.
Increase in the investing in champions package, and proposal to hire the football coach. She said it shows a clear pattern on no collaboration with the major stakeholders.
She's gone.
Dude, Allison is rolling. Hold up, this is the last one with 3 minutes. 3 minutes ago. William Yeomans speaking now, saying Sykes is a regular on the booster meetings. He said he can definitely say that she has been open and transparent with why prices have increased. Which, okay, that's true. But honestly, I'm gonna be real with you, dude. She's gone. Dude, there's a lot of people out there. Oh, wait, hold up, it's not done yet. Williams saying she's amending the motion to say no transparency with the NAA. Okay, I think that's all we got for now. That was 2 minutes ago. Damn.
But yeah, so we can say, right? She is out. Can I say it yet?
Man, dude, this is an interesting offseason. But my God, now I will say that a lot of people were not happy with pulling out of the Orange Blossom Classic, regardless of.
We knew that.
Man, dude, this is crazy. This is crazy, man. This is wild. But hey, FAMU does move fast. Oh, wait, we got a comment in the response to your Jameis thing. Had Russ been as courageous as Jameis, he would have 2 Super Bowl rings. That is facts. That's facts.
Right.
He's got a point.
Um,
He's got a point. That's very true. Russ would have been in an elite company.
but he doesn't, so no.
Man, this has been quite the evening, hasn't it, Ace?
Hmm. Jeez. Oh wow. That's crazy. Bro, we haven't even made it to the wild card games yet.
I know, we really haven't.
Bro, that is wild. When you think about, I was being generous when I said I gave her all that time, right? I
Dude.
didn't think. I said before the show, I was like, yeah, she might be gone by the end of the month.
Dude. Damn.
Bro, I don't even think she's seeing the end of the next week.
Man. Oh my gosh.
Any chance I can get a vote of no confidence from Mickey Loomis?
Damn. You know, hey, you need to talk with Saints Twitter about that.
I'm gonna do it after this show.
Matter
I'm gonna
of
say,
fact, what's your-
any
what's your
chance
boy-
vote of no confidence?
What's your boy's name on? I need to find this.
Chris?
Not
Bro,
Chris.
we need to get Chris on the show for that.
Hold up. Where is he at?
Chris can actually start that whole thing for us if you want. Just DM it to him, bro. He'll do it 100%. Just say, can we get a vote of no confidence trending for Dennis Allen?
Oh my gosh, this is funny
Because he does keep up in the HBCU world too, you know. So like I am sure he would be in on it. Like if he knew like what's going on with all this vote of no confidence stuff for Tiffany Sykes, bro. Oh yeah.
wait. So you want a vote of no confidence for Dennis Allen and Mickey Loomis?
No, I'm not gonna be too greedy. I'll just take Dennis Allen right now. But we'll do that after the show. All right.
Oh no, we're
what
gonna
we need
do
to
this
talk
right
about.
now. It's already been sent.
Oh, you DM'd it to him?
Oh no, this is public. This FAMU meeting is spicy. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's a 19-1 vote of no confidence for Sean Gibbs to become FAMU's next football coach. Ooh.
Bruh, she went downhill the second she took him out of the Orange Blossom Classic.
Honestly, I thought she was a good hire before. Dude, I continue to say it. This woman is good, and this woman's good in terms of being compliance, and she's good as far as connecting with the kids. If I had a child playing college sports right now, I would feel 100% confidence with her handling the situation because a lot of players, student athletes, they like her. But when it comes to making business decisions, I do not have confidence in her. And obviously 19 other people don't either, among others. Because, dude, as we draw closer to it, and as we continue to peel back the onion.
Oh, that was the wrong one you sent that to.
Oh no, that was the right one. That was the right.
Oh, you wanted to go to Trey, not Chris.
No, I wanted it to go to him. He said we've been trying. We've been trying. But no, again, she's good at compliance. Everybody will be accounted for and eligible to play, so long as they're meeting the requirements in the classroom. But damn, she doesn't make good business decisions. Who goes to get the architect of a freaking fight? Answer that. Who? I was there that day, Ace. I was there. I saw this whole thing unfold. from warm-ups when it really started to the half. And then when Tallahassee and Highway Patrol and event security had to escort A&T off the damn field and into the locker room. And then the war of words was still spilling all over Twitter. They came out the damn locker room, cussing on the field. A&T was that day. Oh, Ace, we need to go ahead and wrap this up, Ace.
All right, let's talk about these wild cards.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
More
First
break.
wild card game. I'm going to say this straight up. Derek Stingley needs to pull up his big boy pants and go travel Amari Cooper Saturday afternoon.
I mean, honestly,
he better pull up he needs to pull it up, and he needs to go shadow Amari because they have zero. I will say this straight up. Houston is not going to have any chance of winning if they don't keep Amari Cooper under 100 yards. They will get obliterated. Okay, here we go. She would have ended this issue early and said, no, he's not a candidate. But no, she didn't. She wanted to get him in, and she screwed herself over.
Yeah, she did. Definitely did. Now it's like, ooh.
All right. Spicy.
I mean,
Anyways.
honestly, dude, when you speak of that game, though, it's like I look at that and I'm like, it's not so much. Well, definitely the Browns' offense because it can get explosive at any minute.
No, he got over 200 yards on them last time Cleveland played Houston.
True, but I mean, I'm also looking at like the Browns' defense. Like,
well, no, CJ's gonna have to do his thing, right? They got to protect him and let him cook. But they have zero chance on offense if Amari Cooper is gonna go and drop 30 on them single-handedly. Like CJ can do what he wants, but if his defense is gonna give up 40 points on the other side because Amari Cooper is toasting the whole defense, what's the point of that point at that part? So you're like, well, you gotta go you gotta have Stingley shadow him. That's the only way you're gonna have a chance because I know Stingley hasn't shadowed much in his career like how Sauce does, but Stingley's a good corner. Let him shadow. This is the playoffs. You got to have your best players on the other guy's best player to have a chance to win because D'Amico's a hell of how do I say it? Defensive mind and as a head coach, right? Like going to take the safety at the end of the game and then going to give the free kick to make sure there's no time left on the clock. Mm-hmm. That's a good head coaching move, but also he knew his defense would handle the situations against Indianapolis. Bend and not break kind of thing. But if Amari Cooper is getting bust open for 50, 60 yards every play, like, bend all you want. There is no bending because you're already snapped in half before it could even start to bend. You just touching and snapped. So you're going to be screwed anyway on offense unless you stop Amari Cooper. And he's been banged up, so you got to stop him. You got to keep an eye on Njoku. Because Elijah Moore got a bad injury 2 weeks ago. I doubt he's playing in this game. And outside of him, it's not many weapons for the Cleveland to throw to for Joe Flacco, so you got to get pressure on Joe Flacco because he is an older head. But when it comes to playoff time, Joe Flacco don't mess around. We've seen this before. Joe Flacco can cook in the playoffs. That's where he thrives. This game is going to be in Houston, though, so it's going to be in a dome. You don't have to worry too much about elements. But Houston's got to protect Stroud on offense. Nico Collins is going to have the game of his life. John Mechie needs to catch a ball and actually start running some faster routes. I know he's had a rough time this year, battling back from cancer and the ACL and all that. Mechie's going to have to stand up because Tank Dell's not coming back right now. You have more to say. I feel like you got more and it's coming out for that whole thing.
I mean, honestly,
no, for the Sykes thing. It's like your face thing, like if you saw something more.
I mean, I just have this one little meme.
Right all right. We'll say it later.
But
stick on the wild card.
Yeah. So honestly, as far as the other wild card game I'm thinking about, well, obviously, because
we're going to go through each one we're going to go through each one quick, but say what you want about the Houston-Cleveland game before I move on to the next one.
I like Cleveland, honestly. I trust Cleveland's defense to get the job done. I think they'll come ready. I trust the experience of Joe Flacco, who's still slinging the pill at an excellent clip. The other two wild card games, I'm going to be at the Bucs-Eagles game Monday night. But at the same time, too, I have the utmost feeling deep down that the Packers may pull off an upset.
Oh, that's not even an upset. I'm taking the Packers in that game anyway.
Yeah, but then again, Dallas has been playing well at home, so you got to consider that too. I think Dallas might.
Hey, Jordan Love's gonna be him. I'm feeling it.
If you got it.
If Jordan Love pulls off this game, bruh, it kind of feels hard like to not think he's not gonna be that guy long term. Because he's been cooking the last couple of weeks. I feel like he's gonna keep cooking against Dallas.
He's got a heck of a defense that he's gonna have to do it against.
Hey, Jaden Reed. If Jaden Reed can play that full game, Christian Watson can get his hamstring in order to play that game. Romeo Dobbs, Luke Musgrave. They got young guys catching that ball, but man, if they stay healthy in that full game, I think Jordan Love can spread them out enough to let them operate.
Facts.
And Jair Alexander needs to pull up his big boy pants and shadow CeeDee Lamb. Same thing like how I said for Stingley and Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Jair talks a lot of smack. Jair's going to have to pull up his big boy pants and shadow CD. You take away CD, then you could double Brandon Cooks. Because outside of those two, Michael Gallup is washed. Javonte Turpin and Jalen Tolbert are kind of meh. And then Tony Pollard's not a true alpha. And then it's just Jake Ferguson at that point.
Fair. Now,
easier said than done, but it's just what you got to do.
What other DB needs to put on their big boy pants this weekend?
All right. Other DBs that need to pull their big boy pants. I want to see Joey Porter Jr. match up on Stephon Diggs. That is going to be a key one. I want to see how that works. Joey Porter Jr. going to be in a test for his life. He got the Bills coming up Sunday. That game will be interesting because Mason Rudolph is playing that game. I feel that game is easily probably going to be a blowout. But you never know. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer might have one more magic run in him.
Oh, my gosh. Not Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
He going to find a way? I don't know. Probably not.
It's funny. We were discussing this too, honestly. So, I got my confidence in the Bills. I
think the Bills won in this game.
Yeah, I think the Bills are taking that as well.
I think they're going to have a tough time keeping Josh Allen contained.
If Miami just beaten Buffalo, then I would have had confidence in Miami this weekend, but I don't like Miami going into 0-degree weather against Kansas City.
Oh no. Miami is like they're all flashy, but when it's time to come and pull up the big boy pants to get in the trenches, they're gonna get punched around.
Yeah.
Especially with all the injuries they've had. Hey, but you never know. Bruce Irvin and they just signed another guy. Who else they signed? They just signed another guy beside Bruce Irvin to be a pass rusher for them. They signed two guys to be pass rushers this week. James Houston. Or Justin Houston. Which one is it? Justin Houston. James Houston is the one in Detroit.
Right.
James Houston and Bruce Irvin, who knows? They might have some one more miracles in them. And make Mahomes' life hell because we know Mahomes' old tackles suck.
Hey, honestly, I'll say this. If they come out,
Kansas City's offense isn't that great.
If they come out like how the Raiders did, they have a chance.
Their defense, Jalen Ramsey is gonna have to pull up his big boy pants and lock down whoever he's covering. Given the Chiefs wide receivers don't suck, Jalen Ramsey need to pull up his big boy pants and man up on Travis Kelce.
Yeah, no, they need to stop Travis Kelce. Honestly, they do.
Travis Kelce's been kind of washed since he started dating the paper piece, but whatever.
Now the other one too is Detroit and LA. First home playoff game in Ford Field.
Ever, I think.
Yeah, ever. And remember, mind you, Ford Field was built back in like the early 2000s.
There's an interesting discussion on this, right? So there are people starting the Lions Stafford jersey ban, right? And I'm thinking about it, and somebody brought up a good point. I don't remember who said it, but they pointed it out. Jared Goff won a division that Matthew Stafford never did.
Yes, he won a division that a lot of quarterbacks never could. Dude, the last time the Lions won that division, the Bucs were in it.
Yeah.
Like it was that long ago. Neither one of us were around. Bill Clinton was in his first term as president.
Bill Clinton was also doing something else, but we won't get into that.
Nah, he did. Nah, he did that about 2 years later. Now, come on. He did that about 2-3 years later. But keep going. You are
All right.
terrible. I guess we both said things that we have said on here tonight. But
Oh yeah, you probing. Jesus Christ.
I didn't say nothing wrong.
Anyways, back to the Lions Rams game. So let me get my straight face on. The Lions are gonna have to figure out a way. Aaron Glenn, right? He has been a guy who's getting a lot of head coaching interviews.
Yes.
If he wants to get a head coaching job this cycle, he is gonna have to figure out a way to stop Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. If he doesn't do that, they have no chance of winning. I'm not too worried about the Lions' run D. I feel like they got enough guys to stop Kyren Williams. Oh, God, he got more. Let me hurry this up. All right, Lions offense. Now, they're going to have to get some big plays going with Jameson Williams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Sam Laporte is probably going to gut it through with that knee injury. So, yeah, it's going to be a close game. But I'm going to take... I feel like the Rams are probably going to win the game, but I'm going to just take this one and say the Rams winning this game. Probably is going to be a field goal game, and the Lions are going to line it up. All right, Bucks, Eagles. I feel like the Eagles are going to stomp the Bucks if A.J. Brown plays. If A.J. Brown doesn't play, it's going to be the Bucks somehow pulling it off. Cool. All right, let it rip. I already know you got more to say on this Sykes thing.
I'm just going to say this. I mean, look, I know a lot of Philly fans that are nervous about this. Because I know some that were thinking about going, but they're not going anymore. No, it's just, yeah. I this game could go either way. Plus, it's like they got Baker out here practicing with nicotine patches in his mouth and stuff, dude. You got the sixes instead of the threes in his pocket and stuff, dude. Honestly, it's a lot of people. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Tampa Bay took this, but I do low key.
Tampa Bay offense has to get back to what they were 3 weeks ago, and not what they were the last 2 weeks.
And if they can, against a banged up Philly team that's not playing good football right now, look out.
Is Shaq Barrett and Carlton Davis playing or not?
I'm sure they will.
I'll say this. If A.J. Brown plays, I'm taking Philly. If A.J. Brown doesn't play, I'm taking Tampa.
Now, yeah. I don't think, honestly, that's probably going to be a game time decision.
Mm-hmm.
Now, before we get out of here tonight, I got to share this one.
You just saw. Yes.
Tell you what I saw, and then we're going to get out of here. Because my soul cannot anymore tonight.
More probing?
The National Alumni Association issued a public poll during tonight's meeting. Here are the results. Are you satisfied with the current leadership of FAMU Athletics Department? 9% of the crowd said yes. 91% said no. Oh,
how many votes? I'm curious.
It doesn't say. So wow, someone said the Swaxy and FAMU get stuff done in the past 2 weeks and think we being mean and moving too fast. You would never survive a student election at FAMU. This ain't a game. Boy, this sure ain't, dude. This is what I mean when I tell you, FAMU is not like other HBCUs. Johnson calling a prayer and then calling the meeting. Just kidding. They're answering some questions that were asked in the chat. Okay. All right, cool. Because boy, geez, Louise. Oh my gosh. Wow.
All right. I think we've had enough.
Yeah, I think we've had enough too. We might need to go pour up a drink tonight. Jeez, this has been something right here, man.
We started late, but I think we had a good time. It's only 9:56. We finished.
Oh, this was definitely worth the
wait. This last half hour has been exciting. We've had plenty of excitement this last half hour from Allison. Shout out Allison for the great coverage as always.
Yes.
Nope, we got a comment.
Oh my god.
It just ended. Rado ATL said just send it, so I assume that's the video.
I was gonna say, after throwing all those grenades, we're closing in prayer. Oh, jeez.
All right, in the name of peoples, thank you everybody for joining us tonight on this lovely Wednesday night.
Eventful.
It was a great time. Shout out Lord Jamal, Ash, and Rattler ATL for the comments.
Also,
if you're watching on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook, drop a follow and hit the subscribe button on YouTube. It'll help us out a lot.
Yeah, Allison.
And if you just drop a chat.
Yeah. I was just gonna say, like, Allison, even though she doesn't know it yet, but Allison, thank you so much for dropping the information for us to publicly talk about tonight. Boy, it's no need to bring in.
Old. That was old.
But yeah, dude. Ooh, geez, I'm so excited to see what's gonna happen now. This has been wild.
Mm-hmm.
It's time to go have a drink and call it a night, man. It's 10. I'm calling it, dude. I'm man. Y'all take care. Y'all stay safe. Stay blessed. We will see you next
week. To our friend.
Yes.
We'll have the Instagram back next week.
Yeah. Make sure y'all like.
Next week we'll know who's in the divisional round.
Yes.
And who knows? Maybe the Saints will fire Dennis Allen, and I'll be a happy soul.
Well,
I'll just be miserable again.
Well, so far the notion is 3-0 between you, Chris, and Trey for Dennis Allen.
Wait, what Chris said?
I'm sure he's also said no.
Oh yeah, he's definitely said no. But I want to see if he's supporting the vote of no confidence.
It's time to roll this intro and get out of here. Good night, folks.